What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to JD Plays Ark Survival Evolved on the Center in my single player server. So last time I was level 26. I am now still level 26. I haven't leveled up at all. I've gotten the experience but haven't actually added the levels in. We got a raft built last time. I've continued to improve that raft a little bit. Not much. I'll show you when we get down there. We had to swing back home to do a little repair on our tools. I think I have ingots here. I hope I do. Oh, I don't. All right, we're going to have to go down to the raft first because I forgot to bring supplies that were necessary to do the repairs. All right, but anyways, in the meantime, I used my tools up completely between the last episode and this one, gathering materials to build a few more rafts and kind of level ourselves up quite a bit. So let's go ahead and drop some points into weight. Oh, we got 2 levels off just gathering. Nice. So that's 2 full levels. We're up to 28 now. Freaking awesome. What do we got down here that we really need? So we were talking about medium crop plots being a big deal. We've got 49 points to spend. That could be a worthwhile investment. What else do we have now? At level 28. Just a lot of building supplies. Nothing. The stego saddle is actually kind of important. I might want to pick that up. So we're gonna have to put some thought into that. I know I want the crossbow. That's gonna take up 12 points. If I pick this up, that's gonna take up 21, which would leave me with roughly 16 points. So I could pick up the stego saddle. There are quite a number of these other building components that I'm gonna need, but I think we're gonna be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the crop plot, and I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the stego saddle because the stego is gonna be one of the first dinos I go after, I think. All right. So let's head on down to the rafts, and as you can see, we're not too far off getting our next level, and I know that I've gathered at least enough material already to build 4 more rafts, which is what I intend to do to give myself just a nice big XP boost. And then from there we're going to actually start working on building some legit rafts, and you'll see what I mean by that as we get going. I added an extra storage box onto the raft, and I added a composting bin because, well, I was gathering up a lot of poo as I went. So this is basically, minus a forge and a smithy, a mobile base right now, which is really awesome. And we can carry a considerably higher amount of weight now. So I've got some stone gathered, some flint, some fiber, some hides, and then down here I've got plenty of lumber, more thatch, and I've got some metal gathered up. Okay, so per 250 logs and 75 hides and 125 fiber, we can craft rafts, right? So let's craft some rafts here. So crafting raft. So right now I'm holding enough to craft 2. Let's go ahead and craft those 2. Remember, 200 XP each. Now, also remember the weight, but I've got boxes right here. I can store the raft in my box, and it'll be okay. Let's just kind of go into this screen if we can. Nope, we can't. So, first raft done. There's a level. So let's go ahead and get that level done. Bump that into weight. Okay. It's going to take us about 262-ish, 261-ish experience for the next level. We're just under it, right? But that's okay. It's not the end of the world, right? Put these 2 rafts in here. Grab out some more wood. 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. All right, raft. And we have enough to craft dos moss. And we may be able to even get another one out. Now, I've never demoed a raft the way that I demo other things to see if I get back half of the materials I've used. We're going to in just a minute. But we know we're going to gain at least another level here. So there's a level. Beautiful. That's going to put me up to 190. And it's looking very close to, I think we're going to pull off, I think we're going to get another level out of this next one. So that's awesome. So point being, once you get to where you can build rafts, just gathering the materials to build several of these is very worthwhile in getting you a few levels. We just went from 26, had 2 levels worth of gathering, and gained 3 more levels because we're up to 30, a total of 5 levels just by doing nothing but building a few rafts and gathering the materials to build those rafts. And that's kind of nice, to be perfectly honest. I guess they only stack in piles of 2. Okay. And I could easily build yet another raft if I wanted to. But that also gives me 57 Ingrams. And that boosts me considerably. You know, I've gone from here. Let's see what else we got now. 28 we knew about. So we got spiked walls, ballistas, gallimimus saddles, iguanodon saddles. There's the metal sickle. This is pretty big for us. We want this. This lets us gather fiber much faster. It is expensive though, I will say that. A hatchery, huh? Collects fertilized eggs, incubates eggs in its inventory, boosts egg productions of nearby dinos. That could be very useful. Takes one fertilized oviraptor egg. That's going to be kind of fun to try to get. Okay, cool. Mammoth saddle. That's a big one. That's important. We want to get mammoths eventually. And we finally have worked our way down to behemoth gates. So there's a lot of stuff in this general area we want. But fortunately, it's going to get to where there's not quite as much we need as we go down this way. So that's going to work out nicely. So let's go back and pick up some of the other things that we are needing right now. Okay. Part of what we're going to need, for sure, is these pillars. I want to be able to make stone pillars. So let's accept the cost of that. That's going to be important. We also want to be able to make these sloped walls. That's 7. Okay. That's 7. Okay. This is 8. I'll take that. All right, there we go. So we've got the full sloped walls thing going on now, and we've got 6 Ingram points remaining. And we've already got our first dino saddle in the form of a trike saddle, so that's good. Fence foundations might be worthwhile, but I don't think we've done wooden fence foundations yet. Let's scroll back up here a little bit and just take a look at that. So are there other things that we're missing? Now, like these adobe structures and whatnot, you have to be on scorched earth to be able to get those. So there's nothing I can do about those, really. The trapdoor frame I'm not worried about right now. It's not that big a deal. We need to grab these, though. And we need to grab these. And let's go ahead and get this wooden fence foundation. We are going to be making use of fence foundations as we go forward. Let's go ahead and get this other crop plot here. And that's going to be all of our Ingrams spent. That's good. That's what we want. But there are probably several 0-point Ingrams that we can pick up that we haven't. So we'll kind of scroll back through here and take a peek real quick at that. Yeah, here's some pillars we can get. So let's do this one and get all of them. There we go. And I'm thinking that's it for right now. Okay, right on. Now, here's what I want to know. So I have enough to build another boat if I wanted to. So let's launch a boat right quick. So there's a boat. Let's put this boat away. This second one that I'm holding. If I jump on this boat and I decide, hey, I'm going to demolish this, do I get back? Oh, nope, we don't get back our material cost. So once you build a raft, you've got a raft. Congratulations. And this thing is just going to sink down into the water, and it will decompose in 48 seconds. So if you make a bunch of rafts, you're better off just kind of setting them to the side and finding a use for them later. Okay, so we're gonna launch these other rafts where we have them on hand for if we need them. So we'll put one here. And the cool thing is that I can actually carry that many rafts now. I actually have the weight capacity for it. Well, kind of. Okay, so there's that one. So we'll sell that one out this way just a bit. Kind of get it off the beach some. And then we'll put the last one down right over here. There we go. So we've got rafts to use. Now, like I said, I knew I was going to need at least 2 rafts. Now we've got 4, so if we mess up on one, we can always just build another one. Or, start working on another one. Excellent stuff. Okay, let's use this one right here. And let's go ahead and lower its sail. Hide the sail, okay. And we're going to do a trick that's called lowering foundations, okay. And this is how I usually start off building any raft. I learned this a long time ago. So we'll see how well we can do with this, because I haven't done it in a while. If I quit looking at all my poop. Okay, and we need some wood. All right. So what we want is a pillar. We just want a small one. Let's make 2 of these. because these S ones, I think I'm going to be able to pick them up. I don't know how this is going to work with these S foundations, as you know, I've never tried it with this. But I know that after we make the wooden pillar, the next thing we're going to want is going to be some thatch products. We're going to want thatch foundations. So I'm going to make 2 of these because they're not too expensive. And the idea is that we want to alternate these things, and we may even need a third, I'm not sure. We're going to alternate these things in such a way that the pillars are going to slowly lower themselves, okay? So what we want to do is we want to stack the pillar here and the foundation here, okay? So what I do is I activate my pillar first, and then I take control of my boat, and then look slightly upwards. And what you're wanting to do is you're wanting to kind of line this up as centered as you can get it. And sometimes it's better to do this away from land so that you don't have that kind of thing going on. But that looks pretty centered, so let's place it. Alright, so we've got this pillar centered right now. Now this could have been completely changed, I have no idea. It does not look like these things want to snap to that pillar. We may have to use a standard pillar, I'm not sure. 3 walls high, 1 wall high, okay. And we may also have to use just regular thatch foundation. We're going to find out right now. If I use a standard thatch foundation, does this work? Because you see how this pillar is kind of floating above the boat? Pillars don't usually do that, so I'm not sure that these pillars are actually going to work for this. This will be interesting to find out about that. Okay, it does not appear we get a snap point off of a pillar right here. And this also could be something that's been fixed in the game. So let's demo this pillar right quick. Let's craft just a regular pillar. I want a regular wooden pillar right here. So this pillar is slightly different than the others. So we're gonna hit 5. Before we do, let's move the boat out just a nudge. Okay, so no 5 and hit E. Okay, that's centered. That's where I want it. Now that one's actually going down the way I expect it to. Stop. But sometimes you're gonna have to still look up slightly, as it won't let you place it right where you're looking. So I'm going to try to kind of... That's good. I like that. All right. So this one goes all the way where I expect it to. And this one appears... Yep. This one will allow snapping. So I can put a foundation right here. Now, my next question is, can I put you inside of there? There we go. We can. Okay, cool. So if I can do that, and I demolish you, because you're the old style of pillar, right? Can I now sink my foundation? Well, these look to be latching onto each other. But maybe with this one? Can I? I don't know. Doesn't look like it's going to work. Okay, let's try doing it with just a standard thatch. We're going to get a second thatch foundation. So this may be an area where S plus just is not good to use. Oh, yep, that's going to hurt us. Okay, no problem. So we're going to need to go get some more materials right quick. And I don't think we're going to be able to use S plus for the foundation lowering, which is, it's not that big a deal. S plus is already overpowered as crap, and if I could use that to lower and sink foundations as well, whoo boy. Alright, so we need just a couple of regular wooden pillars. So pillar, I think let's make about, where is, here. Let's make, how many can I make? Yeah, let's make 3 of these to start off. We'll make more as we go. What am I going to run out of in making that right quick? I think I'm going to run out of wood. So we'll grab some more wood here. Let's head back over here. Alright, so we're trying this again. We're going to hit 5. We're going to take control of the raft. We're going to look up a little bit, and we're going to line that up with where we feel is, you know, pretty centered. That looks good to me. And I'm getting messages. Let me respond to this. All right. So we're going to put this foundation right here down, and then we want to demolish this pillar. Now, the idea is once we demolish that pillar, we can place another pillar directly inside of this foundation. And this pillar is actually slightly lower than the one we just destroyed, right? So you see how that's kind of clipping up and down, up and down, up and down real fast? We want it to clip it. We want it to clip like it's doing, but we want it to place at that lower level. Now, it shouldn't be going that crazy. I'm not sure why it is. But we can see where we kind of want it, right? So what I could do is I could put, oh, even these will lower. That is interesting to know. So I can use this. There we go. That's lower. Perfect. That actually works out because if that one messes up, I can just pick it back up. No big deal. And then I can take this guy. I probably can actually take a... we're going to try one more experiment here. This one does not look to be going lower if I put it in there. So that's not good. So we're going to take this one. We'll put it out here. Now that's a standard foundation, not an S+. We'll go ahead and pick this S+ up. And we'll put the next pillar in this one. Now this pillar is slightly lower than that pillar. Okay? So if we step back and look, that pillar is just a little bit lower. So we can pick this guy. We can demolish this guy. We're done with him. And we can demolish this guy. We're done with him. We can build another pillar and another foundation. And we can go ahead and snap this a step lower again, right? Now there are easier ways to do this, I'm sure. That's fine. You know, I don't care, to be perfectly honest. But I'm sure there are plenty of easier ways to do it. This is just how I learned to do it, and this is how I've always done it since. Minus the S+ step here. I don't have to use S+ for this. It just makes it a little easier not to make a mistake for me. Alright, so you see how low that pillar is now? We're getting steadier, more and more steadily we're getting closer to the deck of this boat. This first boat that we're going to build is what I call my expedition boat, okay? And it's one of two boats that I usually try to go after as soon as I start on a server. I almost always build these boats. So we can go ahead and lower again, and you see it's kind of freaking out, and that's where this S+ is going to actually come in handy. Because if I put a regular down right there and it messed up, well, I just was out the materials, but with S+, I can just keep trying to place it, you know what I mean? And hopefully get it at the right height that I want. And I don't have to go off the direction that I went with that. I can go any direction I want. No, don't demolish. Pick up. There we go. So let's try this again. Down. Oh, come on, don't be difficult. Oh, come on. Oh, wait, we did it. Alright, cool. That one is now lowered. Alright. So my next question would be, if I were to put one off here, is it gonna sink to this? Oh, what? Oh, I can go off. Yeah, okay. We're not going through though. Alright, so we'll connect the standard foundation right there. Cool, we'll pick this guy up. We'll demolish this guy. And be careful when you're demolishing the things on the raft, because if it says raft in the middle of that and not the one you're trying to, you're gonna be probably pretty salty with yourself when you destroy your raft. So pay attention. All right, there we go. This is the height we're wanting to get to. So right now we can still see the deck of the boat, and our foundation is level with the deck of the boat. That's exactly what we were aiming for. We don't need any more foundations to be sunk. We can go deeper, and we can actually stop. For certain boats, we would stop where this one is, and we wouldn't sink down this last level. But for this particular boat, we want to. So we're going to demolish this. And we're done with those. So now I can actually come in here, and I can make all of the S+ foundations that I want to finish the boat out. And we do it with thatch first, because obviously thatch is cheap, right? We don't care if we make a mistake with thatch. We don't want to make that mistake with stone. Or metal, for that matter, would be a bad thing to be making mistakes with. And so what we can technically do, and what I like to do oftentimes when I'm building an ark, is I like to build most of my structures completely out of thatch to start, and use it as kind of a mock-up of what the base is going to look like in a final product. So let's jump up for a second and let's go to thatch. So right here we got thatch. We're going to need some thatch ceilings, not sloped. We don't want sloped. We want just standard. And we want 1, 2, 3 at minimum. Probably going to want about 6 though, to be perfectly honest. But we're running low on materials now. What are we going to run out of here? We're going to run out of thatch. I should have more thatch over on the other boat. So let's step over here right quick and grab some. I think I loaded up a couple of the crates with thatch. Not in there. Right here. Here we go. We got plenty of thatch right there. Alright. So let's get a couple more thatch ceilings. Let's do 1, 2, 3 more. Now I've got a few choices with what I'm doing right now. If I want to make the expedition boat, that is. And I think I'm going to, just because it's how I like to start. So scratch what I started to say right there. And let's just get this going on. So what we're going to want to do is we want to extend the length of the boat. Right now the boat is a 3x3. And if you notice, it's kind of hard for me to get on. I can jump up real high if I go to one of the sides. But we've got a 3x3. I would like to extend that 3x3 to make it bigger. So we can come out the back end here and the front end here. And it will. I'll show you why we're doing this. If this may actually be changed. But if you notice, we can't snap to any of these other foundations right now. And that's not fun. But if we put this roof out on the front, we can actually snap to that roof. Just like that. So that allows us to extend the front end of the boat and the back end of the boat by another full set of foundations, which is kind of awesome. And oh, I messed up. That's okay. We can put that back. And because I've never had S Plus before, I can actually probably take that a 1 second. Anyways. Once I get this in position, I'm going to possibly use some of these triangle foundations from S Plus to even change my design a little bit further. Because, I've never had that opportunity before, and that sounds potentially like a good idea. All right, so we need 3 and 2 up front, so we need 5 of these. But we don't have enough for 5 of them, because we're going to run out of fiber right now. Okay, so we need to resolve this can't gather fiber issue. Now be careful when you're building right here, because it's entirely possible that you do this and it doesn't go. But the other possibility is that you do it and the boat happens to roll up and then roll back down on the wave animation, and it will break the foundation you try to place, and you will lose the materials for that foundation. So you need to make sure that there's enough space for the boat to hold what you're trying to do. Okay, so rather than just going and gathering more fiber by hand, why don't we do something a little different here? Let's take all of this metal ore we've got, and let's run up to the main base. You're lucky I'm in a hurry, or I'd be killing you right now, Parasar. So we've sunk our foundations for our raft, and I want to get the basic outline of the raft done and show you guys how I'm going to build it, so that I can off camera go and actually gather all the materials to build it appropriately, and you can see the finished product, next time on the next episode. But we're going to at least get the skeleton of the raft done. Man, this ladder is such a climb to get up here, but you know what? It's so much nicer than having to run all the way around like I used to. Woo-wee, love it. Alright, so we need to get the forge rocking. It's got some spark powder in there, and we just happen to have enough to get 20 ingots out. Light the fires up. Now, for repairing your tools, takes half as much as it does to build them, right? So 4 ingots instead of 8 on this. Well, this only takes 1 ingot, so it's still only going to take 1 ingot. So we're going to repair our pick right off the bat. But we also are kind of at a disadvantage about one thing. I would like to be able to build the sickle. And to build one of those is not cheap. These things take 18 ingots each. So we're going to repair this guy. And while the rest of the ingots that we have here are cooking up, I'm going to go get a little bit more metal. So we're going to take this metal pickaxe. And I don't think I have a lot of weight on me, but it looks like I might. So we want as much free space as we can get. So throw our hides in here. And let's take off trucking. And we need to get up there. So at some point we may want to consider building the same kind of a ladder system to get up and down off of this mountain as what we have right over there, right? So that we can get up here and get some metal a lot quicker than we can right now. Or the other possibility is we could do a parachute, right? We spent the Ingrams on it. Let's do one of those. Yeah, Why not? What all that I need? Para needs thatch, fiber, and hide. Alright, I think I've got all that back at the base. Let's make a parachute so that when we get all of our metal gathered up, we can just parachute down to the base. That sounds like a good idea to me. So we need some, we need some thatch and some hide. Is that enough? I'm pretty sure it is, but let's make sure. Yeah, we'll just grab some fiber outside on our way. That puts us at 15, 18, is that right? Yeah, we need 2 more. There we go. Okay. So finally going to make use of this parachute, Ingram. I don't usually buy this, but, you know, since I have it, I want to make use of it so it wasn't a wasted investment. And until we get flying dinos that can cart us around, and even once we actually get flying dinos, to be honest, having a parachute on hand is kind of a good thing, because if you happen to lose your flying dino, it dies, or you get knocked off of it for some random reason, or it loses stamina and kicks you off of it, being able to just parachute down can really keep you out of bad things happening. Plenty of dodos alive up here right now. That's interesting. Might need to do some taming off camera here in a bit. Might be a good idea. I'm tired, so I have to stop running. So I've placed the parachute on my hotbar, and to use it, I just activate it. But obviously while I'm running on the ground, I don't want to activate it. So we're going to trek up this ramp. Almost where we're going. This is where we want to start kind of being careful, because there can be very bad things that spawn up here. And we want to pay attention to it. Alright, so let's get some metal. Now look at how much metal we're going to get this time. We're getting so much more than we gathered when we were using that stone pick. We've already got more metal gathered right now than we gathered with all the nodes we gathered on that stone pick, and more than we have at home cooking right now. That is a beautiful thing. And with this node right here, you'll get even more. So we're actually going to throw any stone we get out of this thing and just concentrate on taking the metal home. And hopefully be able to take a good amount of it, because that's a lot of metal. Oh, it's beautiful. There's no way I can carry all this, but I'm going to mine it anyways, because we've already started. And I'd rather the node deplete and respawn itself than come back and it be, you know, partially depleted later. 163 metal. Problem is metal weighs a ton, and we can't carry all that. There's just no way. We're still overweight right now. So let's take, and we're going to split this in half, and we're going to split that in half, and we're going to throw out at least one of those. Maybe split that in half and throw out another one of those? No, split that in half. Throw out that one. See if we can walk with that right there. Alright, we can walk with that right there. Let's eat a little bit. We've got some actual real food on us right now, so that's good. Now we're moving awful slow. I don't really feel it's valuable to move that slow, so let's throw out a little bit more. I'd like to get myself to where I can at least sprint. If I can sprint, I'm good with it. Alright, we can sprint now, so we're good. So if you look at your metal icon, or your weight icon over there on the right hand side under my XP bar, that's about where you usually want to be stopping if you're going to be going on foot. And as we pointed out before, at my base, it sits right by that pillar over there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna run and jump out and hit 2 and parachute. Now you don't have control over the parachute, but you can deactivate it whenever you want to. My aim is to try to get right up against this rock and just stop right there and hopefully slide down it, so to speak. Now you can turn your camera slightly to kind of control which direction you're going, but see, it's going to drop me off the cliff, and I have no way to do anything about that. That would be bad. So I just kind of freaked out right there and was able to redirect myself and got lucky. So I guess you can, to an extent, kind of control yourself, but hey, we were able to quickly get down off the mountain, and I'm good with that. So let's dump the rest of these metal ore into here, and now we've got a significant amount of metal coming up. Not only are we about to be able to repair our axe, but we've almost got our 18th ingot to make our scythe. And I'm going to go ahead and make that before I repair the axe. Alright, so let's take this. And let's toss this into here. Because this is what we were really lacking to be able to continue work on what we were trying to work on the boat, right? We're at the 30-minute marker already, so I kind of want to get back to work on some stuff here. So while we wait on those last few ingots to come in for repairing our hatchet, let's start gathering. Now watch how fast we gather thread or fiber. We don't get any berries anymore, but we can gather fiber with the quickness with this tool. It is freaking awesome. And if you're on a multiplayer server and you can get your hands on one of these things, you can expect to do some really quick leveling, because you take this, you gather up tons of fiber, and you just pump out caps, little cloth, little fiber hats. It's an excellent way to level. The only problem is going to be when it comes time to repair it, you're going to need to come up with 9 more ingots and the other materials and find somebody that will repair it for you if you don't have your own forge and smithy. But getting to the forge and smithy, as I've shown, is not all that difficult. You just got to make it to level 20. And that's not that hard. You will run yourself low on stamina, so as you can see, my screen is kind of starting to flash. And if you look above my XP meter, you'll see a hand, and just below that you'll see some stars. Those stars are my torpor gauge, and you can actually work yourself until you pass out if you don't let your torpor recover and you don't let your stamina recover. So just in that little short burst of time, we gained 600 fiber. So this tool is awesome. We love this tool. It will help us significantly. We got some eggs back here to pick up. Nice. Thought I built a preserving bin in here somewhere. Did I not? I thought I had a preserving bin right here. Maybe I didn't build a preserving bin in here, but I should. I definitely should. Okay, we got some more ingots finished. And now the cool thing is that I'm just going to leave that running. And I will be able to come back and have ingots on hand for when I need them in the future. And that, my friends, is a beautiful thing. There's our hatchet back. We've got metal tools, metal hatchet. We've got our bow and arrow. I threw out my arrows somewhere, though. Oh, we could make one of these if we had 10 ingots. I'm definitely going to come back and make one of those shortly. So yeah, we'll get ourselves a metal pike. That will be a much better melee weapon. We won't have to use our hatchet as a melee weapon to kill things anymore. So that will be very good for us. So we're at 32 minutes. It's going to run a little longer than usual today because, well, maybe. I'm going to get as far as I can on getting this boat, at least the frame of it made. Actually, no, I'm not. You know what? I've showed you guys how to sink the foundations. So what I will do is I'm going to get all the parts made to build the boat up. And we're going to go from there, and I'll do the actual boat build in the next episode. In fact, I may be doing 2 boat builds in the next episode and just showing you guys the 2 major boats that I use. One will be the expedition boat, and the other being the taming boat. We'll see how far I get. But yeah, I don't want to run these episodes much longer than 30 minutes as best as I can. I have a bad habit of liking to do hour-long episodes, and so for Ark, I'm trying to experiment and do it a little different. So hopefully you guys are enjoying things. We built a bunch of rafts. We gained a bunch of levels. We've got our new shiny scythe. Since I'm not going to build the boat, maybe we can go ahead and get the pike made, and that way you'll be able to see the first pike as well, and then we'll call it done from right there. I think that'll be a good timing. That'll be a little under 35 minutes, I think. So, as always, guys, as I go to form this last tool, if you're liking the episode, toss me a like, man. It matters a lot. It shows me that there's interest in what I'm doing and that I should keep doing it. I'm going to try to do a better job of sticking with it. I know I've said that a lot in the past, but I'm ADHD as crap when it comes to games. I love to play them, and then suddenly one day I just lose interest because I feel like people are losing interest in what I'm doing. But I'll try to be better about that. So if you do like it, hit that like button. If you want to see more of it, hit that subscribe button. Those things really encourage me to keep going and keep pushing. I don't ask for donations. There's ways to do it if you want to do it. I don't care about that. I just want to be delivering content and people be enjoying the content that I'm putting out there. That's my deal. As far as this forge goes, you don't have to run it off spark powder, by the way. You can run it off of thatch, and you can also run it off of logs. So running your forge off of spark powder is not a requirement. It just happens to be a highly effective way to do it. It's a lot more efficient to grind up stone and flint into spark powder if you're in the early stages where you're needing a lot of wood and thatch for building purposes. And at this point, I am. So there's our tin and there's our pike. Pikes are nasty. And we will get this bad boy out. And let's head back down and see if we can get our first kill with it. douse it in blood, and call it a day. Whoops, I just pooped all over my ladder. There we go. Now, I can let go, and if I'm really quick, re-grab this ladder as I fall. But I don't want to try that right now. Well, I'm thirsty. I'm going to start dying because I haven't had water. I believe that I would survive if I fell from this height. So let's do it. There we go. Alright, so let's gobble down some. I'm being you little dirty thief. Perfect guy to test my new spear on. These guys will steal your spyglass like crazy. They're worse than the birds. I hate them. So he kills them. His body flies up in the air. The pike did a great job for me there. There's his body. If you kill him fast enough, you'll get your belongings back. If you take too long, they'll just disappear. The birds are almost impossible to get your belongings back. But there you go, guys. The metal pike in action. The metal, what is this called again? Sickle? Yeah, sickle in action. We got the job done. Got a bunch of rafts built. Got a bunch of levels done. Happy about that. Look, there's another thief right there. He's crawling along the beach right alongside that bird. Do I have bolo material? What about the stone? Yes. About to kill me some thieves. Let's get a drink of water right quick. By the way, just standing in water will recover your water levels, but you can also just directly drink it. So, as I go for my next target, my next piece of prey, if you liked it, like it. If you'd like to see more, like it. Click that subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. Be good to one another. Laters. Give me back my spyglass, you dirty son of a buck. Stabbing you in the face. Laters, guys.